What's up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond. I am back with my own new review of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm late, but let's get into it. We last saw Drew walk out crying because she's upset that she's expressed to Sheree, "You hurt my feelings, I'm going through a lot, and you're not listening." But I do not believe that Drew was crying about this lawsuit, okay? I feel like she's crying because her feelings are not being recognized, her feelings are not being considered. Sheree don't have a heart because she's worried about herself, hence why everybody was telling her, go outside and talk to her. You're the host. She expressed to you how she felt. You're not caring because you wanted it to be about you. Kenya goes outside with her. Sonya goes outside with her. And she said, I'm tired of my feelings not being acknowledged. That's because of Ralph. Now, a lawsuit is not something to play with. It's not something to laugh about. Sheree knew exactly what she was doing by wanting to embarrass her about that chef, like she did at the brunch. Because she wanted to embarrass her. She wanted to expose her for her name being in the blog. Something negative being about her. Because that's what Sheree is. Sheree is a nasty bitch. Okay? And for Sheree to lie in my face to say that she didn't know how big it was, if when you told me how serious it was, I would have understood it. No, the fuck you wouldn't have, Sheree. You wouldn't have. Just like how you didn't even let go when Candy made a joke about you not having your website up because it wasn't up. You get so sensitive when things are said about you, but you proceed to be so fucking nasty and bitchy to other people. And it's not fun. It's not fair. Okay? Because I do know you're trying to get your lick back from how she outed you last season of not paying your assistant, which is not far-fetched, okay? You don't pay people. That's something you'll never escape from, Sheree. You don't pay people, all right? But if you had already had a conversation about you feeling away, why are you bringing it back up to start something new? Because you don't care, okay? So back at the restaurant, everybody's wondering what's going on with Candy. Is Candy going outside to check on her? No, Candy's going outside to use the bathroom. Okay, because she feels like this is the most dramatic I've seen Drew, and I've seen her in worse arguments than this. She know how to handle herself in an argument. It's something more than just this lawsuit. Cause I think Candy said and see when Drew walked out. So she was like, it's like we stepped out of a movie. I know it's something worse, deeper than this. So, yes, the impact of the lawsuit could tarnish reputation, but I don't believe it can. I'm with Kenya. It's not about the lawsuit. $1,000, she's not crying over $1,000. It got something to do with Ralph, and it does. Kenya wanted to know what is $1,000 divided by 8, so that way we can all pitch in and make her leave, make her go away. Drew said they already paid her. Before she went to Portugal, she came from the courthouse and paid her. The lawsuit is over. Then what you crying for? Again, you crying over something else. And this trip of healing is a bunch of bull. I do believe that Drew was clear, she was open, she was communicative, but she can't trust the girls with what she has going on right now. But I can understand why. So Sonya and Kenya walked back into the restaurant. They said Drew has been very vulnerable, but it's not about the $1,000. It's a lot more going on in the confessional. Oh, it's a lot going on. And in the confessional, the producers asked her, are there some things going on that you're not ready to tell the girls yet? Yes. She doesn't trust her husband. And she needs to admit, ever since he left to go to Tampa, she has not trusted him. Because we don't know what happened in Tampa. We don't know who he was with in Tampa, where he stayed in Tampa. We have not gotten a resolve of why did he receive an offer for a massage from his assistant. Then when he was in her music video, he was getting all oiled up. The female producer walked upon him and told him he can audition for Chocolate City in Vegas. So right now she's not trusting Ralph. And this is not once but twice that Ralph has acted differently with another woman. He has acted inappropriate the ways that we've seen him act. So from the consent of everybody here, yeah, there's some things going on that we're gonna find out later on. Saya wanted to add her 2 cents in by saying, I feel like whenever we are in a resolve or someone wants to have the floor to talk, we should give them that space to talk and not cut them off. King was like, girl, if you want to add your 2 cents in, we can give you a jar. Because I feel like Saya, shut the fuck up. Kenya don't like Saya. And King has every right to not like Saya. I don't like Saya right now. Kenya had a conversation with Sheree about how absent Candy has been. And we all know Candy has been working, we know she has been doing a whole lot and hasn't been present. It's not on purpose. While I do believe that Candy is done with this housewife mentality, the storylines, the messiness, the cattiness, I do believe she's probably at her wits' end with it. Okay, that's why she still is on the show. But as far as her not saying no to always working, it's because when you are used to having a lot of money, you don't want to lose it. Okay, we know that Kenny loves making money. We know that she loves building generational wealth. Okay, and I believe we've said that time and time again about how Candy should slow down. Candy has worked long enough in this industry to take a break, to relax, to rest. We've seen the fruits of your labor. We've seen the multiple businesses you created. You deserve a break. You do. I don't know what Sheree was talking about, how she enjoys her me time. You enjoy your me time so much, your business is failing. Okay? But this is the same thing we've always said about Candy. Candy don't make time for her husband. Her kids are wondering where she at because they miss her. Like, she has to figure that out. Okay? You know what I'm saying? She has to figure it out. Candy doesn't do a lot of self-care, which she needs to. Okay? She needs to. She needs to. It doesn't make you selfish that you do take time for yourself. It doesn't make you not care about other people if you're worrying about yourself. Moving on. We are day 2. Everybody is coming down, celebrating day 2 of Portugal. Marla was controlling Sonya by telling her she can't wear ripped jeans because she was shading Drew denim on denim outfit. The itinerary for today is going to the farmer's market, picking out food so they can eat for lunch. The chef is going to prepare it, and then they're going to a pottery class. I'm getting tired of Sheree acting like she's the glue because she wants all the ladies to get healing on this trip, but you're the most broken one here. You need the most healing. This was supposed to be a trip about you healing your fibroids, but we're divided. And you know why we're divided? Because of the mess that's been happening in the group. You know who's been partaking in majority of starting the mess? You, Sonya, Marlo, and Courtney. Candy, Drew, and Kenya have not done anything this season as far as starting mess. Not really. So everybody's waiting on Kenya because Kenya was taking her precious time getting dressed, making everybody else late. Because Kenya, you don't like everybody else to be late, but you rather be late for everybody else. That's not cool, Kenya. You need to be better on your time management. Okay? People cannot always wait for you, and you get mad when you have to wait for other people. It's not going to work. But once Kenya does come down, everybody's on the bus. Kenya walks outside. She slips and falls hard. She falls hard on her side. And everybody rushes outside to help her. Not to mention, it was raining a lot that morning. So they had to make sure Kenya was able to walk. She felt a lot of pain. She felt like she couldn't move. So she had to get admitted to the hospital. I'm like, God damn, Kenya, what happened? I mean, you did slip, accident, and you were wearing hospital shoes, not sturdy to walk outside with because it was slippery. Courtney and Drew have a conversation while Kenya gets wheeled off in the hospital, and Courtney's being such a bitch right now. She's talking about how God has a way of forcing things. I think it's karma. So Courtney believes in the cosmic universe. You know, what goes around comes around, right? She thinks that it's Kenya's karma for falling, literally almost to the point where she could have been paralyzed. She could have broken something. You know, Kenya is a woman of a certain age now. You think it's karma after Kenya telling you that you can't touch her because that's a boundary? Because you feel like she was giving you meaner energy. In this moment right now, Courtney, you're being a nasty bitch right now. You're being a mean girl right now by making it as if it's Kenya's karma for falling. Is I can't even complete it. Because instead of you being a bitch, you couldn't just say, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I hope she's okay. It was raining outside. I hope nothing was wrong. I hope she's good. You couldn't even do that. Courtney, you wouldn't have an issue with somebody so bad. I think you were told by the other girls that if you have an issue, if you're constantly shading somebody, you will be asked to come back. I don't want you back. Okay? Girl, it's not Kenya's karma that she failed. And she wasn't in the wrong for telling you not to touch her because that's a boundary because she don't know you like that, Courtney. And then she even said, as I try to get to know you, you're closed off. That don't make any sense. Make it make sense for me. Drew didn't like that because she felt like we do have to be mindful of how we talk about other people. And for her to say it was Kenya's karma that she failed, that she could possibly have hurt herself, and now she being sent to the hospital, didn't sit well. Well, Drew, I'm happy you felt that way, but I wish you would have said that to Courtney. Because Courtney's being a nasty, mean girl right now, getting happy that Kenya failed. All because she told you that's a boundary, don't touch me. Girl, please. Um, Candy was going to the hospital with Kenya. I don't think Candy wanted to go. It was her last day in Portugal because at first she came sick and now she's right in the hospital. This was not her expectation of being in Portugal. So all the ladies go to the farmer's market. They wait from the hospital to find out what's going on with Kenya. I don't like Courtney. Courtney can leave for me. It's just not sitting with me the way that Courtney expressed how it was Kenya's karma for falling. Don't like that at all. The rest of the ladies are in the rain, headed to the farmer's market, and they were also talking about the Bolo trip because I think Courtney said they're around her neck of the woods when they were in Isles of Palms in South Carolina for the Bolo trip. That was something else. I couldn't think of nothing else to talk about from that point. So all the ladies walked out the farmer's market and they meet the chef, talking about what they want. They saw a rabbit. I'm not eating rabbit. Manietta calls Kenny to find out what's going on. They've been in the waiting room for hours because they couldn't find anybody who spoke any English. And Marlo said something about, oh, this should make Candy be worldwide now. It's just kind of like, Marlo, shut up. Why are you mentioning like, that's all Marlo has been doing. Marlo is obsessed with Kenya and Candy. She really is, because she can't help but talk about them. And the fact she wants to mention that why isn't it going any faster that Candy's in the hospital? Ain't she a celebrity? There's not a guarantee that everybody's going to recognize somebody when they're in another country or in another state. Okay? We know who Candy is, but sometimes other people of international waters might not know her. That does not mean she's not internationally known, Marlo, okay? Manietta was tired. I can tell Manietta was tired of Marlo making jokes about Candy, making jokes about Kenya. I know she was tired of that, okay? So they all arrive at the restaurant with the chef that prepared their food, and hopefully it'll stop raining soon. They're enjoying some nice glass of wine. Marlo's talking about Scotley. Okay, she's enjoying herself. She wants to get attention by showing pictures of their first date. And Sheree, she can't help herself but be messy. You know, she mentions that Kenya don't believe that the relationship is real. It's giving tender. I'm with Kenya. It's giving tender. This is not real. Because this is not the type of man that Marlo goes for. Everybody says it, even you, Sheree. You were wondering, does the chef make any money? So, shut up. And I'm loving that Manietta was throwing shots at Marlo, because that's all Marlo does is throw shots at Candy and Kenya. Okay? Tell her maybe it's too soon for her to be showing him to everybody, but I guess people do it differently. And she was also telling Marlo she didn't like that you wanted to take Kenya's shine away of being happy that she is entertaining somebody. She is happy in some kind of relationship. You wanted to make it about you, you know, saying, oh, I went on a date with him. You pulled up the DM, which is what you did, Marlo. You did. And for Kenya to have a reaction to, which is what you wanted, Marlo. You wanted Kenya to feel a way about you being on a date with somebody that she's dating now, but you said the guy was corny. You said the date didn't go nowhere. So I don't know why you're itching for a moment that you're not going to get. That's not even that serious. And the whole comparison of the DM, I'm tired of the comparison of the DM. Okay? Kenya was trying to let her friend know the man you're dating, he tried to holler at me. And I've already seen the way this guy moves. I've seen the antics he's done to his ex-wife, and I don't want you to be involved in that. I want you to keep your eye out and just be careful. With Roy already told Kenya of him going on a date with Marlo and that it was one date. Two situations don't measure up. And Sheree, I don't know what your issue is. You get so annoyed. You get so annoyed when someone has somebody defend Kenya and Candy. You look at how they defend Candy and Kenya as someone kissing their ass. And I don't understand that. You saying it's a double standard? It's not a double standard with what Marlo did and what Kenya did. It's not, okay? There was way more information out there about Martell, and everybody else knows. You're just blind. And You want to keep saying, pull your head out of her ass. Just get out of it. The way that Marlo is in yours, the way that Sonya is deep in yours, Courtney is deep in yours, get the fuck out of here. And that's a friendship. What you have are minions. And a coincidence, Martell calls to, say how he missed her, and it's been a long time since they've seen each other, and it's been a long time since they've had sex. I don't believe. And I'm done. Everybody in the confessional, her minions, all believe that Martell is a good relationship. It's fun. It's positive. It's a major upgrade from Tyrone. Anything is a major upgrade from Tyrone. Okay? Sheree talks about she wants the trip to be authentic. She wants everything to be everybody to be vulnerable. But you're starting mess, okay? And as you're starting mess while being on the trip about vulnerability, you want to tell Drew that when Drew walked out crying, Candy said and seen. Manya didn't hear it, but everybody else did. And they're all trying to turn Drew against Candy right now. Because why would Candy, who is your friend, say and seen? She didn't care about your feelings. Sheree's getting a kick out of it because she wants to look at somebody else to be the villain. She wants somebody else to be in the wrong. But I was with Candy. I've seen Drew have way more arguments that didn't amount for her getting this emotional, okay? And we all know that Candy's not an emotional person. She doesn't do the crying. It's not to say Candy doesn't care. She's just not emotional. She's not the kind of person who go for emotional support, and she's not the kind of person who gives off good facial expressions of seeing somebody cry. But Sheree, that's just like you, bringing up dirt, bringing up things you want to address, because you still don't know what happened between Drew and Marla, which was way in the beginning of the season. How Marla got extremely aggressive with Drew, called her out her name, and when she was on a date with Scott, she did call Drew, but then didn't like that Drew was telling her, I need you to be consistent. I need you to be a better friend. The way you came at me was wrong. She hung up the phone on her, talked about her husband, talked about her shape. So Marlo got a lot more to apologize this upcoming reunion because she said been talking a whole bunch of shit about Drew's weight, Drew's man, her career. So Marlo gives an apology. Drew tells her, I accept it, but I need you to be consistent. And that's all that needs to be said. But Marlo switches up so many times, it's not worth it. Kenya is out of the hospital. She's walking, don't have no broken bones. She got some pain medication. They were there the entire day, all right? Knowing that Candy was hungry, she got her some wings. I'm not mad. The foreign exchange hospital is over. Candy was able to be there for Kenya. I'm very happy. And y'all can't say Candy don't be there for people. Because for her to be there the entire time with Kenya, that's a friend, okay? Moving on, the girls, they go to a pottery class. They learn the history of pottery. And I hate it every time. Marlo make it seem as if whenever Kenya and Candy are not around, all the ladies get along. Not really. The rest of the episode was boring. Y'all didn't have nothing to talk about because Kenya and Candy weren't there. And the entire time, who kept bringing up Kenya and Candy? You, Marlo. You. Bringing up. And you, Marlo, you can miss me on how you want to flash back to all those times where there have been events. Kenya and Candy have been the cause of it. They've been the drama. They've been starting drama. No, they have not. No, they have not. They've been reacting to the drama you, Sheree, and Sonya have created. And Courtney. That's what happened, okay? And I hate the narrative that you think that whenever Kenya and Candy are around, nobody gets to be themselves. Nobody gets to be authentic. That's not true. You, Courtney, Sheree, and Sonya are fake. You guys think differently. You guys are all followers. And then you find it confusing and a problem when the other girls don't think like you. You have a problem when there are actual friendships forming and you can't have that. You try to force it. This entire season, Sonya has defended Marlo for the wrongdoing she's done. She's defended Sheree, she's defended Courtney, and vice versa. Kenya have been on the outside the entire time, and Drew. Yeah, y'all can miss me with that. Then, it was confusing to see Monyetta and Sonya act out an issue because they wanted to make fun of Drew. I was confused. So then Sheree wanted to end the night with a slumber party so everybody could be in good spirits. And it is Candy's last day. She did not have a chance to have fun with anybody because she was with King at the hospital all day. So Moving on from that, everybody arrived at the hotel. Candy came in looking comfortable. Okay, she had her joggers on. Sheree couldn't help herself but shade it off by saying she looked like Cleo and set it off. And how she has to do better with her wardrobe. I'm like, Sheree, you can never afford what Candy wears. Okay, miss me. So the food arrives in the room, whereas Kenya's not coming down because she's on pain medication, let her rest. And the hospital was like The Walking Dead, okay? I was afraid that a zombie was going to come out and get me. It was very scary. No fractures. She's cool. And Candy talks about, I'm always there to support my friends. I'm always there when they need me, you know? And she does be busy. She does do a lot. And whenever she does have a moment to chill and to hang out, she's going to take it. Drew wanted to call out Candy because she heard that when she was having an emotional moment, you cried out and sing. And Candy admitted, I did say that because I didn't even think that the argument you and Sheree had was that deep. I've seen you in arguments. I've seen you be less emotional in those arguments. And you know, she heard Drew's expressions, how she didn't like it. It was a lot that she was going through. Candy didn't mean for it to come up as her dragging her. She said what she said and she apologized. Moving on from that. Because it is deeper with what Drew got going on. And Candy ain't about to be dragging out an issue because she don't have an issue with Drew. She's just calling it out like she sees it. Okay, it was a joke. Fine, moving on. Sheree wanted to ask Sonya how has she been doing? What's been going on with her? Because after her Mommy Nation brunch, Sheree can tell that Sonya was a little bit sad, was a little bit down. And Sonya expresses that her sister was extremely frustrated with her because her sister did not receive a more updated info about doing her hair, and the entire time of her sister living there, she has been taking her for granted. She has been selfish. And living with her family this go around has been hard, has been stressful, and she has to let go of how it used to be. She has to remember, my family have their own lives now. I can't expect for them to drop everything to be there for me, and I have to understand that we might be a close family, but we don't have to live closely as a family. Moving on from that. Candy asked Drew, how has Drop It with Drew been going? It's been going good. Marla don't want to work out. She'd rather get lipo, but she wants to be a paid membership. Now, speaking of being a paid customer, Sheree's in her feelings that nobody bought any of her clothes. Now everybody was forced to buy stuff, act like they're about to buy some shit by Sheree. But of course, I was with Sonya. She said, don't act like it wasn't on our minds. Don't act like we wasn't eager to order anything, because when they went to her fashion show, you told them when the website was dropping. They waited for the actual date for the website to drop, and the website crashed. There was nothing there for them to buy. They couldn't get in. So you getting upset that they never buy anything, it's because that by the time you told us it was up, it wasn't up. And they were in a group chat discussing what outfits they wanted, discussing what items they want to put in their cart, but they never could do it because your website wasn't working. And they weren't about to wait until it was back working because they got their own lives. They got their own shit. So shut up. And to be honest, though, I'm an average customer. I am not going to spend $200 on a hoodie, $100 on a simple t-shirt. The same stuff I can get on Shein, the same stuff I can get on Amazon. Hell, the same stuff I can go to Target and Walmart and buy for a much cheaper price. Okay? So miss me, Sheree, how you and your friends, like nobody ever bought anything. Because nobody wants to buy your overpriced shit. Nobody wants to buy it. Miss me. Production wrapped around 11:30, 11:45, I think. But an hour later, everybody was reminiscing the bolo night. And it was discovered on season 13 of the reunion that Latoya revealed she kissed Drew at the bolo night. Drew said that never happened, and Candy was like, girl, I saw you kiss her. You're not about to make me not see what I did see, okay? Even in the confessional, production told Drew about what happened, and Drew said Candy told that to Latoya to say. Why would Candy lie? Why would Candy tell Latoya to lie and say she kissed you? That makes no sense. With what Candy has already gone through before with Phaedra and Portia, why would she do that to somebody else? That doesn't make any sense. Drew, if you kissed her, you kissed her. Okay, it's no shaming. It is what it is. Okay. Drew, Candy said, did she just lie on me? Did she just lie on me? Don't do that. I'm going to my room. And Marlo says she for sure saw them kiss, but the way that Drew is explaining what happened is saying that's not what happened. If I owned it, I would have owned it, but that didn't happen, so I'm not owning it. It's causing Marlo to get confused as to who's lying, who's telling the truth. Now, it's fast forward 3 months later on to the next episode that Ralph filed for divorce. And then we're going to get into her alleged situationship with Ty Young and what else has been going on. And oof, can't wait. But y'all, that's it. That's all I have. Drew, just keep it a buck. Okay, if you kissed her, you kissed her. And I don't think Latoya would lie about that. But either way, that's all I have. Please stay tuned for my next video, and I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.